This week's stories have a wide range of emotions. We'll first visit a generational barbecue joint where family tradition keeps the pits burning. Then we'll stop by a longtime shoe repair shop where worn soles are restored the old-fashioned way. And finally, we'll meet a photographer who helps grieving families preserve the memory of a child. Why don't you hop in, travel with me? My name is JB Sauceda, and this is Texas Country Reporter.
If you look across the Texas, the layout and the map, a lot of places, it's a Tex-Mex thing. So, we say that we're putting first, it was a Tex-Mex spin, but it's starting to evolve into more of a cultural thing. I mean, when you're smoking something that's like a tamale, when you're making a pork steak the way we do, and now that you're cooking in a caso, I mean, there's nobody else doing that. I mean, you are deep down Michoacan, Mexico.
Nowadays, you can't throw a rib bone without hitting a good Texas barbecue joint. Nearly every town has one, from high-end craft locations to the tiniest of shacks. So if you really want to stand out amongst the slew of sensational slow smokers, you've got to be doing something a little different. And for Lupe and Christine Nevarez, that means leaning on their Hispanic heritage.
We're using our cultural knowledge that we already had and just bringing it to the restaurant and making it into something that is barbecue related. It's nothing really new. It's just we've tweaked it to work on our pits, to work in our kitchen.
Every good pitmaster will tell you the right smoker is essential to great meat. But here at Lavaca Barbecue in Port Lavaca, everything literally started with a barbecue pit.
My story, and I stick by it, is that I started watching Texas Barbecue, and I got an edition of the Texas Monthly. At that point, Daniel Vaughn had actually written about 1,000-gallon smokers. And I was already welding my own smokers, and I thought, man, it'd be cool to make a 1,000-gallon smoker just to have. But how do you have one at home? So we got to thinking about it, and back in my mind is maybe we can make one and eventually have a business. And Christine was ready to retire, from school and wanted an early retirement. We thought, well, we combine both of them together, and you can get out of retirement from your school early and then roll into something else that we enjoy doing.
So you started a restaurant just so you could build a smoker?
Yes.
Yeah, and the other thing
Yes.
too, yes.
That first smoker birthed Lavaca Barbecue, a Gulf Coast haven that's become known for having stellar brisket and ribs, along with more unexpected items like barbecue gumbo.
The barbecue gumbo, we love gumbo from Louisiana, but yet we brought it back and it's no seafood, yet you have that spice that the meats don't bring out, but we add our Hispanic flair to it because that's what we know. Our taste buds are Hispanic.
My dad really likes gumbo. He loves anywhere we go. Every time we go towards Louisiana, he has to find the best gumbo. And now I specifically save meat to the side just for gumbo because everybody enjoys it.
Oh, you want me to slice it for you, ma'am?
After helping her parents part-time at Lavaca Barbecue for years, Kelly took over pitmaster duties in 2020, turning an already well-regarded restaurant into a Texas Monthly Top 50 barbecue list winner.
Originally, to be one of the top 50, and now to be, the only female top 10 Hispanic, it's just, it takes it to a whole different level. So we're real proud of her.
Yeah, we're real proud of her. She, everything she does back here with the meats, and it all comes naturally to her. She makes it look so easy.
So I keep the recipes the same. I would say the only thing that I changed was maybe the timing of when I put things on due to scheduling of the day wise, or what the activities I had to do or prep for. Briskets are still the same, pork filet's still the same, everything's still the same. We tried to kind of throw in some of our family influences. So like the tamale recipe, not the smoked part itself, but the meat spices specifically. My mom always cooked that for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that's just a tradition that, you know, we wanted to share.
Lavaca Barbecue is the kind of place where you plan your next visit long before you've finished your last bite. A place where low and slow smoked meats are combined with deeply Hispanic spices and techniques to create award-winning original dishes. Dishes the Nevada's family are happy to keep serving up for years to come.
Sliced or chopped. It's so much fun to see people come from all over. Today we had people from South Africa, and it's nice to see people like that coming and enjoying our food. It makes you happy.
Yep, and it puts a smile on your face when people come in and you go by and you go, hey, is everything okay? And there's, I mean, this is the best I've had. This is great, you've made my day. Or, on the other hand, is you're trying a new recipe and you go, hey, what would you like to take home? And you go, hey, all I want is some of that carnita to take home. So it puts a smile on the face that we're headed in the right direction.
How long do you see yourself out here cooking barbecue?
Hopefully a very, very long time. And I've even asked Tootsie, I was like, how do you have the energy for this? How do you do this? And she literally said, it's the people. I mean, you get up for the people, you go out there for the people, and it's, you know, we've always kind of, we're people pleasers. But yeah, hopefully a long time. If people keep coming, I'll keep cooking.
From the cheapest shoes to the most expensive shoes come into this shop, to the shoes that can be repaired and some shoes that cannot be repaired. Dario and I talk to our customers and, you know, we tell them yes or no, whether they can be repaired or not. And some get really disappointed because they're like, those are my favorite shoes, but we're like, sorry.
Whether you're walking on thin ice, on eggshells, or on the wild side, your shoes say a lot about who you are. And let's face it, once you've found a good pair, they tend to get worn, torn, and a little forlorn. But that's exactly when Minerva Galindo steps in.
You know, when you're not here, do you look at other people's shoes? Or are you
All the
always kind
time.
of checking them out?
All the time.
Really?
We go have dinner, we go out. I'm looking at people's shoes like, oh my God, should I give them a card?
I know, I think I'm due. These are...
Yeah, before you leave, you're going to get a boot shine, definitely.
Yeah, these are, yeah, I've definitely been beating these up pretty good.
Beaten down boots, torn up tennies. There's nowhere better to bring them than Colonies North Shoe Repair in San Antonio, one of the oldest repair shops around.
Alrighty, yes sir, I appreciate it. Have a great safe one, thank you.
How long has it been open in total?
77, actually.
77?
Yeah, 77 years.
Wow.
Perfect. I did it. I lowered them. The heel will bring it up a little bit more.
What do you like about it?
I treat my customers' shoes as they were my own. I worked for my father-in-law for many years, and I always wanted my own shoe repair shop, but just strictly to work on ladies' shoes only. And it never happened. So when finally he told me that he was going to retire, and I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm going to keep the shop. I got to keep it going.
Minerva started saving souls with her father-in-law at the young age of 17. And 5 years ago, she took over full-time. Now, with the help of her son Dario, they're keeping the almost lost art of shoe repair alive.
I think this sole protector that's thicker, the man wanted something more thicker. That'll work, right? Mm-hmm. The sad part about it is that there's always been so many shoe repair shops. During COVID, a lot of shops shut down. Some men passed away. There were a lot of elderly men that were in the business. I tell Dario, what's going to happen when when we shut down, because I mean, we have customers from everywhere. I mean, we would average at least back in the 80s and 90s, we would work on at least 35 pair, a day.
Wow. So business hasn't necessarily slowed down, or is it just a different type of shoe?
Well, it slowed down because we're used to it booming. So this is considered slow down.
Slowed down around here still means multiple pairs of shoes being worked on at one time all day long. But Minerva still managed to find time to fix up my favorite pair of boots.
This is TCR on the job. This is what it does to my boots. And then also, as it turns out, TCR on the job. What happens when we do shoe repair story. So it's good.
Sure, in this modern world, some things are just easier to buy again. But there's others that hold a little more value. Perfectly broken in boot, or that pair of flats that always felt just right. And here at Colonies North, Minerva and Dario are continuing the legacy of giving shoes a second life.
Do you feel like in the 5 years that you've had it, you've made your mark on it now?
I have. I wish it was booming the way it was several years ago, but it's not. But we're making it. We're doing well. We're doing good for ourselves.
Yeah.
And the customers. My customers are our main priority. Once they walk in that door, they see Dario smiling at them, and they're like, "Oh, we came to the perfect place."
We tell all sorts of stories on TCR about Texans making an impact. Next, we'll discuss Susan McElroy's calling to help people deal with grief and loss. It's a powerful story, but a heavy one that deals with how to carry on after the loss of a child.
Bereavement photography is probably one of the most important forms of photography, but it's like most unknown. And so unless you have received bereavement photography yourself, or someone who does it, a lot of times people are unaware. And so here in East Texas, there's actually kind of a desert of bereavement photography. For the last 5 years, I have been the only consistent bereavement photography in the city of Tyler, which has over 100,000 people.
Grief is a fickle thing. It's something that touches everyone at some point in their life, yet it remains taboo to talk about. The grief of losing a child, however, is perhaps the hardest of all to put into words. Susan McElroy knows this pain intimately. As one of Tyler's only bereavement photographers, she captures one of life's most tragic moments, the early loss of a child, a loss she saw firsthand after her own complicated delivery.
My husband and I were expecting our first child, our oldest, she's 7 now. In March of 2018, I was induced for her, and when I delivered her, it was a really traumatic delivery for both myself and her. And she had to be resuscitated, and then she ended up in the NICU, and we spent a little over a week in the NICU with her. And while we were in there, we watched families rejoice because their babies got to go home, or they made really big progress in whether it was eating, or they had gained weight, or they came off oxygen. And then we also watched as families mourn the loss of their child. And as fate would have it, my sister was actually a NICU nurse in the same NICU that my daughter had been a patient in. And she called me when I was about 9 months postpartum, and they had had a baby pass, and there was no photographer to come up and do bereavement photography. And I told her, like, oh, I could never do anything like that. That is so scary. Like, I'm sorry, no. And so, like the wonderful sister she is, she nagged me and nagged me and nagged me and nagged me for months and months and months. And so finally she had a baby that passed away in the unit that she was very close to the family of this baby. And so she called me and she was like, I promise I'll never ask you again. And I was like, fine, I will do this one time for you. And I went up to the hospital, and the moment I removed my lens cap from my camera, I just was like, oh, this is my calling. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is why, the Lord put me on this earth.
Less a reminder of what was lost and more a testament to a life that'll be remembered forever, Susan's photographs have helped people cope for nearly 5 years. But in 2024, she realized she could do even more to help people grieve.
unfortunately, East Texas has one of the highest infant and maternal mortality rates in the state of Texas.
Really?
Yeah. And so I had been talking with my best friend Erica at the time, and I was like, I really just want to do something more than just pictures. And then in the summer of 24, Erica experienced a loss of her own daughter.
We decided that we would finally have a fourth. It took us a few years to decide. I ended up finding I was pregnant. We were super excited. I was high risk. And so I had what is called a miscarriage. And so that's whenever you carry the pregnancy and you don't find out that you've lost the baby until you've gone in for a sonogram or a doctor's appointment where they tell you that there's not a heartbeat. And so I had gone to the 15-week appointment, and she told me, we're so sorry, but we can't find a heartbeat. We thought everything was fine. You made it past the first trimester type of thing, and I had no signs of blood, like nothing that you would think would mean that I had miscarriage. My husband was working, and I didn't want him to drive home by himself with the news, so I waited for him to come home, and I met him in the driveway and let him know. And I mean, we both cried there in the driveway, and I called Susan, and I said, Susan, there's no heartbeat. And she had done bereavement photography at this point for another organization, and you know, she talked with me about, like, you know, how I was feeling and what did I want to do. And you know, I was like, well, I just don't know that I have many options. She's like, you do, you have options, you have choices. And she said, I'll come in and take pictures for you if you want me to. And I was like, she's so tiny though, like she's so tiny. And she said, that's okay, like pictures, I mean, you may want them later on, no matter how tiny. And that really helped me. Like, there's so much value to my baby and her life, and that somebody was willing to come in and take pictures for me, even though that looks different than typically what other families, like with larger babies, have. And so that's how we kind of came to the conclusion. I was like, you know what, I think maybe I do want pictures. I think I do.
After the loss of Glory B. Spears, Susan and Erica decided to form the Morning Forecast, a nonprofit that not only takes bereavement photos for parents, but also offers much needed resources during one of life's most difficult moments.
For me, the real meat of the organization, most people would see it as being the photography itself. But for me, the reason I launched the Morning Forecast, that Erica and I came together to do that, was through the education side. The more you work in grief and bereavement, and the more you walk alongside families and nurses and doctors, you see that people are, number one, terrified of death. And then number two, in that fear, they can say and do things that is really harmful to those who are grieving. And so the number one reason we ended up launching the Morning Forecast was, yes, to provide bereavement photography services to East Texans experiencing loss. But our biggest one was to be able to educate people, whether they are doulas, nurses, providers, anyone who works within that realm of dealing with these lost parents. We were providing them education on best practice.
Grief is sometimes described as love with nowhere to go. For moms like Erica, who don't get to hear their baby's first laughs or watch them grow up, this grief is insurmountable. But through the Morning Forecast, Susan McElroy and Erica Spears hope to show others that while death is an inevitable part of life, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
Don't be afraid to grief. It's grief is love all wrapped up that we need to express, for sure. And I think a lot of times we subside that, but our babies are valued, whether a few weeks old to, I always say she didn't have to be anything to be my everything. That is part of a mother's unconditional love. Like, that means you're experiencing loving your child unconditionally. They didn't have to do anything. You just love them. And that's from the moment they're in the womb. I mean, The womb is a powerful thing. It's where the spirit meets the physical. And you are totally allowed to grieve your baby for however long you need to. I still cry from what a lot of people would say were like still just a clump of cells, and she wasn't. She had 10 fingers, 10 toes, and nose and ears and eyes and, a mouth. And so you have to grieve that. How can you not, How can you not whenever you wanted them and loved them?
Life can move us through joy and loss, but it's important that we keep showing up for one another to help navigate both those peaks and valleys. I look forward to next week when we'll continue on this journey down the back roads of Texas. And until then, my name is JB Sauceda, and this is Texas Country Reporter.